Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's live chat. I'm Angela Walters, and I'm excited to spend a couple minutes with you today talking about quilting. If you're watching this live, remember you can always type your questions in while I'm going because Jessica is here as always, monitoring it, making sure nobody's on there doing bad stuff and writing your questions down for me. And if you're not watching it live, no worries. You can leave your questions in the comments. I'd be glad to answer them. I get on there from time to time and answer them. I hope everybody had a wonderful Halloween, and I have a little treat for you. In this live chat, I'm going to announce or tell you all the details about the newest free motion challenge, Quilting Along. So this is kind of like a big day in the Quilting is My Therapy world, because when we announce the challenge, when it goes, get the first initial push out there, it's the culmination of a ton of work on everybody's part, and it's kind of like, here's our baby. We hope everybody loves it, and we hope that everything goes good. So real quick before I get into it, though, I did a little giveaway last week with the Build a Quilt signups. I did a Oops kit for 3 lucky winners, and Kathy Bausch, June Rouchette, and Judy Purcell. You have all won, and I left a little note on your comment, but just drop Jessica an email at jessica@quiltingismytherapy.com and she'll get that sent out for you. And if you didn't win, no worries. I'm doing a giveaway this week too, but you have to hang around to the end to see what it is. So what is the Free Motion Challenge Quilting Along? Well, it is a crazy idea I had several years ago to do a video series where we could quilt along together and learn some things and just kind of practice free motion quilting. And it has been a lot of fun. It's taken off kind of wildly and like a crazy thing. And so I'm excited now to tell you about the newest one. It's going to be about mandalas. And so like every challenge, I try to improve a little bit, kind of tweak it a bit. So I'm excited to show you what's new with this challenge and what's the same with this challenge. And I think that hopefully by the time I'll show it to you, you'll be excited to give it a try. So let's get to the goodies. So first of all, this is going to be the Mandala Free Motion Challenge Quilting Along. So for the first time, one thing I'm doing a little different is instead of having a design theme, we have a project theme. In the past, when I do a video series, it'll be like, oh, we're going to do the feathers, or we're going to do swirls. Well, this one, we're going to work through a project, and it's going to be a little sampling of a lot of different little things. And so instead of focusing on one type of design, we're going to talk about some different stuff. And I'm going to get to that in just a second. But first, the schedule. So this video series is always free. It's always on my YouTube channel, and it stays on there even when it's over. So you can even go back and binge watch all the previous Free Motion Challenge Quilting Alongs. And this one is going to start in December. So happy holidays to you. It's funny because when I look at the schedule and I think about when these videos are going to come out, I do take into account, real life stuff. And so we are taking the week of Christmas off, that last week of December. But every week I'll release a video that will show you how to quilt part of that panel or work through a set of designs or techniques. And then we'll still have our live chats. So just like I'm doing now, except once we hit that challenge schedule, it is going to, the live chats will be about the challenge. So one thing I'm gonna do a little different is when the videos come out, it'll be on Tuesdays. When those videos come out, I'm going to there's gonna be 2 options. I'm going to try to do them live. So like a live, class session. At the very least, if I can't quite get the logistics of that worked out, I will be on there when it goes live so I can talk to you while it's premiering. So taking advantage of some of the new technology that's out there. So I'm excited to kind of go over some different things with this. Now, I tried really hard to get this panel quilted because I just got the sample not too long ago. But we're going to talk about a lot of different things, like how do we use echoing? How are we going to transfer from one design to the next? How can we customize our designs to our skill level? So for the first time, I'm going to do something a little different. I think it's a little ambitious. It's going to be like a choose your own quilting adventure. So for each section, I'm going to have a couple different quilting design options that are going to range in skill level. One of the biggest things that I'm always constantly thinking of when I'm putting together the content for this challenge is I am talking to a wide array of situations, right? Different skill sets, different machine setups. And so for those of you that are brand new to machine quilting and you're like, I don't think I can do it, I'm going to have some designs that are a little bit easier or kind of talk through those little bit more approachable for a newer quilter. But for those of you that have had enough machine quilting experience that you can get yourself into trouble, I'm going to have some more advanced options. And I'm not going to say harder, just things that might take a little bit longer to put together, things that might take your skills that you know and build off of them. And so my hope is to kind of hit everybody where they're at with this challenge. So it's going to be a great time. So for instance, in each of these little sections, I'll have some different options for you and we'll work through those. As always, I'm still going to have the free quilting diagrams like I always do. I'll have the expanded resource PDF if you want to take advantage of that. And like I said, the videos are always free. So I'm super excited to jump into that again. So you can see some of the quilting examples that we'll be working with. It's going to be a 6-video series. I kind of keep it right at that 6 weeks. I know that's not ideal if like you're wanting to like start it and finish it right away, but we'll talk about that in the next live chat. We're going to talk about how to prepare your panel, how you're going to approach it if you're doing it on a long arm, how you can approach it on a sewing machine. But just know that I've broken it up kind of into those time frames. All right, so with probably about 5 or 6 challenges ago, I started putting together exclusive products for the challenge. So this is how I kind of monetize the classes or the free videos. But it's also a great teaching tool. To be able to design a panel that's specific to what I want to teach you is so much fun. That has been such a game changer for this because I'm not limited by what's out there. I can think, ooh, you know what I want to do? I want to teach how do we quilt designs in the round? How do we approach that? And so then I can design a panel and design products that go with it. So these are completely optional. Of course, you don't have to have them to participate. I can't stress that enough. It is free to participate. All you need is a sewing machine, a free motion foot, and something to quilt on. But if you want to quilt along with me, you can take advantage of some of these products, and especially something a little new. So again, the panel is what I'll be quilting on. That's what I'll be demonstrating the designs and techniques on. And for the first time, something a little different, we're going to have 2 size options. So I'm really excited about this. I had the ability now to quilt or to digitally print panels or fabric panels that are a little bit wider. So for those of you that want a bigger quilt to snuggle under, you are doing it on your long arm or you feel comfortable with a little bit bigger option, you're going to have that opportunity. And for those of you that are like, no, I want to keep it a little bit smaller, then you can have that regular size as well. But here's what I think is fun. I'm going to say fun because I always say fun, but I wanted the panel, the pieces of it, to be the same size. So those mandalas are actually the same size, just on the bigger panel, you get more of that outer ring and you get a little bit of extra around the outside. So even if you have a bigger panel and someone else has a smaller panel, the quilting diagrams will still be applicable to both. So that's kind of fun to think about. It's not going to be like, oh, I've got to figure out how to make that different for everybody. So first of all, the regular panel is the same size that we've always done at the challenge. It's about 42 by 51, a really good size for like a baby quilt or for practicing and having something beautiful when you're finished. And the larger one is going to be 59 by 70. So almost twin size there, but nice. It is so fun. When we got the test prints of that in, I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. So really exciting option if you want to try the bigger one. So we are doing something a little bit different or a little promotional for you. If you want to try them both, if you want to buy the large panel, you can get the regular panel half price. And so just use promo code Mandala when you're checking out. And I should have told you, the link to all this is in the description box below, or you can go to quiltingismytherapy.com and have all the details there. So that's going to be for limited time only. That's not going to run forever, but if you want to try them both, you can. Also, we're thinking, ooh, how can we put this rainbow mandala on everything? Is pretty much what the meeting was, right? Jessica was like, okay, can we make stickers, shirts, whatever? And so we put together, thought it'd be fun to make just a little mandala pin. And so everybody that orders a panel gets a free pin in their kit while supplies last. I ordered 1,000 of those, so when they run out, won't have any more. But if you are one of the early signer-uppers, you'll get the free little pin to go with it. And my thought is, wouldn't it be cute to have those for every challenge? You can kind of have your challenge swag, like, look what I've done. So you don't need a promo code for that. You don't need anything. That's going to go in your little package if you're one of the first 1,000 to get it. All right. Optional borders. So for those of you that love borders, put together a border panel so that you can add a little bit more detail to your panel. Sometimes I know that some of my challenge participants love borders or want it to be just a little bit bigger. And so this is something we started to I think 2 or 3 years ago. And so there is an optional border panel that you can sign up for as well, or that you can purchase as well. And I am super excited about it because it kind of has that curvy little detail. It has that rainbow kind of stained glass effect. And I think it really kind of pulls out some of those beautiful colors in the panel. So what's fun is it's 4.5 inches, or it's 4 inches finished on the smaller panel, but it's 6 inches finished on the bigger one. So there are border options for both little panel, regular. I don't want to call it little. I don't want to give that regular panel a complex. It is the panel, and the other one's the large panel. But there are options for both of those, and that kind of fun, beautiful outline. If you like borders, if you want to add them on there, totally up to you. And this is where I start feeling like an infomercial, right? But wait, there's more. You can also get a backing kit with fabric for the backing and binding. And can all my purple loving people out there give me a hallelujah? Because I think this is the first time ever I've done a purple backing. So it's funny, with Build a Quilt, our block of the month, I started doing purple, or I did a purple colorway. And so now purple's just everywhere. And so I think I'm going to eventually, by osmosis, it'll be my favorite color by the time we're done. But if you want to purchase the backing kit, this will also act as the binding for your panel. And so it's a beautiful, like, dark purple with like a little bit of blue in it. It's kind of fun, that kind of geometric ombre little bit of a look. So you can add that on as well. And when you click the link in the description box, you go check it out. If you purchase it all together, you get it at a discounted price. So you can see that. All right, how about thread? Right, because if quilting is my therapy, threads are my meds. This is something that I love doing. Picking out the threads is probably one of my favorite parts because I'm so comfortable with it. And I pull all my colors and I grab it, and we're throwing stuff on there, and these are the ones that are in the coordinating thread collection. Again, this is an optional add-on if you'd like to add it on, but these are the colors that I'll be quilting with on this panel. And I'm going to ask you, those of you that buy the thread, to just trust me. We're going to have a little bit of contrasting quilting on here, but I promise you it's going to be fine. So first of all, we have that nice kind of tealy robin egg blue, and that's going to go in the teal outer ring. We have super white, which is literally the name, super white. That's going to be like our background color. And what's so funny, to pause and give you a little inside story here, somebody had asked during a live chat, like, what colors do I use? I don't know. And I was like, I don't ever hardly use white. But then I kind of giggled afterwards. I told Jessica, I'm like, but the next challenge is going to have white. It's a bright, brilliant white. And the backing, or the background of the panel, is actually a light gray. It's like a very soft gray. And so it shows up just a bit on that, a little bit of gleam. It looks so pretty. So anyway, that's why there's white. Plus we have lavender, which is that cool kind of purple, that bluish purple. And then taffy. Now, taffy is a color that's hard to get to show up quite right on the picture because it's not quite pink, but it's not quite red. It's a perfect corally shade. Coralish. It's a shade of coral that's going to look great on your quilt. And then lemon. I was so excited to get to use a bright color on here. And you might think like, wow, that is yellow. Trust me, on the panel when you quilt it, it actually kind of blends in. It looks really pretty. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out as well. Or if you have a thread stash like I do, you can start digging through your threads and track it down. So those will be the products that we have going with it. So again, you can click the link in the description box below or go to quiltingismytherapy.com. And I really have found that I enjoy the fabric design process. It's very difficult for me because it's not second nature. So it's always like, But anyway, I've started putting together coordinating fabric collections, and this one is called Crystals, and this matches those pretty shades that are in the panel. So for those of you, I know we got some of you that love kind of creating your own borders, your own effects. You want to incorporate that. This is going to be the collection to do it. So it pulls out those colors that are in the panel, and it's kind of like a geometric, kind of ombre, saturated, pretty look. And so that is also there. You can get the fat quarter bundle if you want, or by yardage if you'd like. And again, that link is in the description box below. But one lucky winner is going to win the fat quarter bundle of all 12 fabrics. Aren't those pretty? I have a hard time limiting myself on these prints. I'm always like, oh, let's just keep them all. All you have to do is leave a comment, not right now while I'm live, not in the chat, but in the actual video comments, letting me know which color is your favorite. And next week, I'll pick a lucky winner of the fat quarter bundle. So Crystal's fat quarter bundle. So pretty fun. So I hope that whether you get the panel or not, you're excited to quilt along with me. As we head into this busy time of year, I think it's really important to have a little bit of time for yourself. And I know we all have different real life situations that happen, but if you could just carve out 15, 20 minutes to practice your free motion quilting, I think you're going to find that not only will you improve, but you're going to love it. I know that I can definitely tell if I haven't had as much machine quilting as I'd like. Much time to machine quilt as I'd like. One question that came through I saw right before I went live, there are no pillow panels for this challenge. I had every intention of doing that, and I might still, but man, I just kind of ran out of time. You should see the stages of, I don't say grief, the stages of the design process. I'm sure Jessica's over here kind of like laughing, right? Because there's like I guess I better design a challenge panel. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and oh, it sucks, and like it changes, and then until eventually I'm like, it's done. It's kind of like we never know when that's going to happen. Anyway, so this one was a little bit not difficult. It was just more time invested. But I'm excited to get this out and get to the best part, the actual machine quilting, and work through the video series. Are there any questions for me, Jessica? I will say that everything that I've done previous, though, will stay the same. I'll still have the free quilting diagrams. We'll still be showing how to do it on a sewing machine and a long arm. And they will still be on our YouTube channel or on the website. So be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel because you'll get notifications as soon as the video goes up. And then also, if you sign up for my email newsletter through my website, I send those out as well. So definitely looking forward to that. One question, the bobbin. What color will I be using for the bobbin? Oh, the big question. And I think we're going to do a whole little thread live chat as we lead up to it. What thread color will I be using the bobbin? I will be using a light gray, because I have pre-wounds and I am super lazy like that. So pre-wound bobbins are nice because they're already wound, they're good to go. A light gray or a white will work as well. If you are winding your own bobbins, you can either use the same color as you're using your top, then you'll have kind of like a whole cloth effect on the back, or you can use just a neutral. So it's totally up to you. The reason that using the same color in the bottom and the top is so not important, but why it's ideal sometimes is as you're quilting, you might get those little pokies or those little areas where it pulls up a little differently, and you might see the bobbin thread show up through the top. And so just making them the same color kind of helps hide those, kind of helps, hide some of those quilting imperfections there. So that's the color I'll be using. But I will be talking through that, kind of giving a little bit more like not pre-work, but kind of how are we going to approach our way through this quilt? How are we going to do it on a long arm? How are we going to do it on a sewing machine? A little bit more of that in the live chats leading up to that. Now, I don't know if I specified this. I don't think I did. This is a pre-order. So these will ship out in about 2 weeks. So when you go to the website and you sign up, it's a pre-order. As soon as all that beautiful fabric comes in, then everybody I know comes over and starts cutting. Even people I don't know, I just start pulling people in from the streets, and then we'll package it up and send them out. So very excited about that. Anyway, I hope that you're excited about the newest challenge. I can't wait to get cozy in winter and work through that with you all. And I can't wait to go over some designs I think you're going to love. And don't forget to check in next week for the live chat, but also to see who wins the beautiful Fat Quarter Bundle. All right, everybody, until then, stay safe, have a great weekend, and I will see you next